Thank you for being here Wednesday Pacific Standard Time at 5:30 p.m. for Vinyasa Flow. I apologize for the earlier streaming. This is my first time actually recording and then uploading, so we'll find out what happens next. But if you're just joining us, find a comfortable seat and just check in with your body and see how it feels and breathe naturally. Dropping into the now, being here in this moment. With each exhale, letting go. Deepening the breath, inhaling from the belly, the rib cage, collarbones, exhaling from collarbones, rib cage, belly. Inhale, belly, rib cage, collarbone. Exhale in reverse, collarbone, rib cage, belly. Continue on your own breath. Adding on another layer, the Ujjayi breath. Slight constriction in the back of the throat as if we're fogging up a mirror. Should be audible to those around you. At any point today, if anything I'm offering you seems like something you're not, your body isn't ready for, or you just don't want to do it, that's okay. Listen to your body. It's going to be your best guide. Thank you so much for being here. I will be offering modifications as we go, and drop something in the comments if something worked for you or something didn't work for you, and we can add it or change it for the next class. Inhale, hands meet up overhead, touching. Exhale, down, heart center. Inhale, hands up, touch overhead. Exhale, down, heart center. Inhale, hands meet up overhead. Exhale, down, heart center. Inhale, hands meet up overhead. Exhale, down, heart center. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, hands meet up overhead. Send one arm forward, one arm back. Inhale, both hands up overhead. Send the other arm forward and the other arm back. If you would like to deepen the twist, your gaze can follow the back hand. Inhale, up overhead. Exhale. Inhale up, exhale. Twisting from the belly button. Inhale. One more on each side. Hands meet up overhead. Exhale down to heart center, thumbs touching the sternum or the heart. Set an intention, if it feels right to you, for your practice this evening. If it doesn't feel like that's something that's in your practice today, check in with the body and see how it's feeling. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Send one arm down to the mat. Reach as tall as you can, then tip over to one side. Hand stays alongside the ear, making sure that both sit bones are touching the mat. Inhale, hand goes down, other hand goes up. Inhale and exhale as tall as you can, and then tip. Making sure not to curve in on ourselves, opening up the chest, stretching the side body. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, down to heart center. And interlace the fingers and rotate the wrists in a figure 8. If it feels safe to you, you can always close your eyes and check in with the body at any time. If that's not an action that feels safe to you, listen to that. Whatever direction you're going with your figure 8, reverse. I was leading with my thumbs, and now I'm leading with my pinkies. It feels weird. But this is good for the synovial fluid, the oily stuff in our joints, to naturally keep them lubricated. Inhale, release, shake them out. High 10. Nah, okay, all right. Coming on to all fours for tabletop. Making sure that our shoulders are above our wrists and our hips are above our knees. Pressing slightly into the tops of the back of your feet will engage the legs and provide a nice stable foundation. This can be a very active pose. Sending just your rib cage to one side, down to the other side, and up. So it's a circle. It doesn't matter what direction you're going, just pick one. Whatever direction you're going, reverse. Maybe even linking it to your breath. Exhale on the way down, inhale on the way up. 2 more full rotations in this direction, meeting in stillness. Sending the entire body, the entire upper part of our bodies, leading from our hips to one side, back to the other side, and forward. So actually we're doing hip circles. Sending the hips back to one side, forward. Doesn't matter what direction you chose, just pick one. One more time round, and then we will reverse. Reverse, reverse. Sending the hips to the side and back to the other side and forward. Almost back to child's pose and almost in upward dog. 2 more, and then we'll meet in stillness. Coming back to tabletop, checking our alignment, making sure our shoulders are above our wrists and our knees are below our hips. Inhale the quad parallel to the floor, keeping that foot flexed, almost as if we're a dog peeing on a fire hydrant, and circle the knee, warming up the hip flexors. Whatever direction you're going, reverse. And switch sides, settling it down. Inhale, lift the knee, quad parallel to the floor, and circle. Remember to keep that foot flexed to protect the knee. Reverse. coming back into table. Tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, press the mat away from you into down dog. This is the first down dog of my day, so I'm going to walk it out, but you do whatever feels right to your body. Shake the head, no. Nod the head, yes. Pick a leg, it doesn't matter which one, just remember. And step it through the hands, so the hands are framing the foot. Keeping this back leg nice, long, extended for a runner's lunge. Inhale, straighten the front leg, sending the hips back. Squaring the hips with the short edge of the mat. If you need to widen your stance for a more stable foundation, that's totally fine. I've tented my fingers so that I don't go flat on the mat, and it feels safer to my body that way today. We're sending our heart towards our knee, not our head. If this is ever too much, you can always reduce the gravity by dropping the back knee. Inhale, bend that front knee again. Bring both hands inside the feet, so it's kind of like lizard pose. Widening the stance, bringing the foot closer to the outer edge of the mat. And hold. Engage the core and extend through the crown of the head as far forward as possible. Coming up onto the toes, we're going to rotate towards the long edge of the mat, walking the hands, staying in that lunge position. Press into the outer edge of the foot, straighten the leg in a wide angle, forward fold. Inhale, bend that knee, the leg that you were just doing, bend it again towards that right angle. So we got a side lunge going on. Inhale, hands up overhead. Sending energy through the outer edges of the feet will help create a more stable base. Exhale, forward fold halfway, a flat back. Coming up onto the toes, rotate to the short edge of the mat, keeping that same leg bent. So we're in almost a high lunge. Inhale, extend as far forward as possible. Exhale, press up into a high lunge. Again, sending energy out that back leg, squaring the hips with the short edge of the mat. Reaching as high as you can. We're going to be hinging at the hips, reaching forward into warrior three. So pressing off the back foot, flying forward. If you're shaking, that's okay. Drop the back foot as gently as you can. Rotate it so the outer edge of the foot is on the short edge of the mat. Cartwheel the arms open to warrior two. Remember to keep that same leg bent. Sending the heart back and the hips forward, that small micro movement, will engage the core, providing more stable foundation. You can gaze off your front fingers, or keep the head facing the screen, or whatever feels right to you. Straighten the front leg, send the back hip away from the front leg as you reach forward. When you get to a tipping point, Send one arm down, one arm up to the sky. If you're more comfortable going all the way down to the ground, that's okay. You can bring the ground up to meet you to provide a more stable base as well. By putting the hand on the calf, the quad. If this is too much for your upper arm, you can always bring it down to the hip or even heart center. Whatever feels right to you. I'm gonna go for it. Trying to square our hips with the long edge of the mat. Grab a rope with the top arm and it pulls you up. Turn both toes to face the wide, long edge of the mat. Inhale, hands reach up overhead. Clasp, flip the wrists out as if you're pushing something away. And inhale, raise them up again. Maybe putting a slight back bend in. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the spine. Exhale, hands on hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway, flat back. Inhale, lengthen. Then forward fold the rest of the way. We're going to go to the other side. So I'm walking my fingers across the long edge of the mat, picking up my toes, and then my toes again are facing the short edge of the mat, but I'm in reverse. Setting up. Making sure that our knee is not going in front of our ankle, and we've got a strong sense of energy shooting out that back heel. Once you feel like you've got a stable base of both hands framing the foot, move the hands inside that front leg and heel toe the foot out towards the edge of the mat. This is providing a nice stretch. And a core strengthener. Walk the foot back in, frame the foot with with the two hands. Send the hips back, straighten out that front leg. We all have good sides and great sides. Sometimes you can go further on one side than you can the other. That doesn't mean there's a bad side and a good side. It means there's a good side and a great side. Leading with the heart. Forward folds tend to lead from the heart. Bending that front knee, coming up on the toes, rotate the feet so they are facing the long edge of the mat, and we're back in that side lunge. Sending energy out towards that back edge of the foot will help create a more stable base. Inhale, hands all the way up. Exhale, flat back. And hold. Come up to the toes. Rotate to half lunge. Inhale all the way up to high lunge. Sending again energy out that back foot. Bend in the front knee. Hips are parallel with the short edge of the mat. If this is ever too much for your arms, you can always reduce the gravity coming down to heart center. Rotate that back foot so it's parallel with the long edge of the mat. Cartwheel the arms open to warrior two. And breathe. straighten that front leg, the bent leg. Reach as far forward as you can, sending that hip back, and then folding forward into, rotating forward into triangle. Reaching up and down. I guess this is my good side today, not my great side. Grab a rope with the top hand, bring you back up with arms parallel to the floor. Rotate that front foot forward, so both toes are facing the long edge of the mat. Rotate them out slightly, so they're actually kind of pointed towards the outer corners of the mat, not just the long edge. Inhale, hands up overhead. Exhale, bend the arms and the knees into cactus arms and a squat, sending the booty back. Welcome to Goddess Pose. And pulse, up and down, up and down. If this is ever too much, find stillness, find a place that's right for you. Finding stillness. Exhale, hands down to hips. Press into both feet. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold halfway. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold all the way down. Grab the grab your elbows and hang in ragdoll. Swaying back and forth if that feels right to you, making sure not to lock the knees. Slowing into stillness. Inhale. Place one hand underneath your face. It doesn't matter which one. And inhale the other arm up overhead. If this is ever too much for your legs, you can always bring them in a little bit and reduce the gravity by coming down onto the knees. I'm going to stay with it today. Your gaze can be towards the floor, towards the top fingers, whatever feels right to your body. Try to keep as flat a back as you can. Breathing into the back body, lower back, will help with that. Exhale, place the hand that was in the air underneath your face and send the other arm up. Exhale, float that hand down. Come up onto the toes. Walk the hands towards the short edge of the mat. Step back, plank pose. Making sure that our shoulders are above our wrists. Sending energy out the heels will help engage the whole body, sending the crown forward. Little micro movements. Inhale, send the hips back up into down dog. Lift one leg, it doesn't matter which one, just know which one you're doing. To three-legged dog. Exhale, inhale. Shift the weight forward, keeping that leg elevated. Come into plank with the leg elevated. Bring the knees down, keeping that leg elevated. Chest, elbows, chin. Now bring the foot down, untuck the toes, press up into cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, place the hands
underneath the armpits. Send the hips up and back for down dog. Other side. Inhale, pick it up, three-legged dog. Making sure to square your hips with the earth and not having one hip higher than the other. So keeping that leg up and extended. Shift the weight forward into plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Drop the foot, untuck the toes, press up into cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, press in the hands, hips up and back to down dog. Wag the tail, walk the dog. Do. Drop the knees, send the hips back into child's pose. Arms extended straight out. Tent the fingers, walk them to one side of the mat, one long edge of the mat, providing a nice side stretch. Tent the fingers, walk them all the way across to the other side. Inhale, tent the fingers, walk them back to center. Inhale, exhale. And your next inhale, walk the hands up the legs so we are sitting on our heels. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, down to heart center. If reaching behind you is a little difficult, now would be the time, I'm sorry I didn't say it earlier, to grab a strap. So, giving you a moment to get situated. You don't have to have a yoga strap. You can use a bathrobe tie, a dog leash, a belt, a jump rope, piece of string, whatever you got is fine. And if you don't need a prop, that's great. These are just opportunities. Let's move forward a little bit. All right. So if you're using a prop, make sure that you've got it extended and there will be tension in it the entire time. So if you don't have tension when you're this far out, walk your hands in. All right. So if you hold it out in front of you like this, and you send the arms up overhead and down, over back, you can, that'll work. So they'll go over your head, and then you'll wrap whatever you have in. So you'll be like trying to clap your hands behind your back. All right. Yeah. So your thumbs will be pointed down. And with time, you'll be able to walk your hands in so that eventually you'll be able to clasp your hands behind your back. Clasping hands behind the back. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the spine. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, hinge forward. As you hinge forward, you'll notice that your arms are going towards the sky naturally. And placing your forehead on the earth. One more breath. Release the fingers, have them float to the floor. Palms of the hands facing up, thumbs towards the feet. Inhale, press into the feet and the calves, coming up into a seated pose. Exhale, arms to a T. I'm going to turn so that you can see. Pick a side, it doesn't matter what side, but give yourself a hug, sending one arm forward, one arm on top of the other, giving yourself a hug. On the next exhale, keep the elbows together and send the tops of the hands, the back of the hands to touch. This is a modified eagle arms. If you'd like to build a little bit more heat, you can come off of your heels. And if you want to go into the full expression of eagle, bring, so open up the palms to twist them around one more time. So you've got your elbows locked, your back of the hands touching, slide them open, and then clap them. And when your arms are in eagle pose, the object is to go up, in and up. It's opening, so squeezing in and going up. It opens up the shoulder blades. I don't know about you, but I've been pretty stationary more than I have in the past. And this is really helping me. So hopefully it's helping you. I don't know, I'm not there. One more breath. Exhale, release the arms, come down on the heels. Remember which arm was underneath? It's now going on top. So, yeah, I think that's what it was, so. Yep. See, I even get confused. Okay, so arms out as a T, give yourself a hug. Inhale, back of the hands touch. If you'd like to go into an even fuller expression, hands go out as if you were to catch something, and then clap. And breathe. Breathing is good. Two more full rounds of breath in this position. Release the hands, fly open. Exhale, send the hips back on top of the feet. Send them to one side, swing the feet out up in front of you. So staff pose. Legs are fully extended, engaged with the floor. Toes are pointed to the sky. Long spine, reaching out from the crown of the head. Pressing slightly into your quads and tucking the chin just a little bit opens up the top part of the spine. Pick a leg, it doesn't matter which one, and bring it in and give it a hug. And send it away. Take the other one, give it a hug. And send it away. Bring both legs in, give it a hug. Release the legs and place the hands on the mat. This is one spot for the hands. We're going into boat. Whenever I get to a point where you're like, oh, that's it for me, stay there. You can maybe just come up onto your toes today. Maybe that's where you are. Maybe you have one foot and then the other up in the sky, bending just at the knee. Maybe you have both feet off the floor in a right angle with your knees. Hands can go wherever they feel comfortable. They can be on the mat, lightly above the mat, hovering. They can be out in a T. They can be up in cactus. Your legs can even be extended straight up like that. Extended straight. Whatever position you choose, hold on to it for 3 breaths. If you're shaking, that's okay. This is a practice. Okay. You can bring yourself out of whatever level you're in to something a little bit more stable. What am I going to do? I think I'm going to keep my legs raised because my arms are going to go in cactus. And if this is you, like feet flat on the floor, that's totally fine. I'm going to actually demo it this way to start. Exhale, arms up into cactus and twist. Hi everyone. Exhale, back center and twist. Inhale, back center. Exhale, twist. If you'd like to build a little bit more heat, maybe bring one leg up. And then the other leg. Or maybe both legs. Maybe they stay down on the ground. Exhale, give the legs up. Sweep the arms underneath the legs, giving the quads a hug. Scoot towards your feet. So when you lay down, your feet are flat on the floor. Walk your hands closer to your feet. So you should be able to touch your heels. Tucking the tailbone, pressing into the feet slightly, lifting the hips off only about an inch or 2. Understanding the sensation of where your hips are in place is actually really powerful. Maybe on the next exhale, they go up a little bit higher and roll down. Always engaging the feet into the mat and quads are squeezing together. Maybe on the next time that you exhale and you enter bridge, you stay there. Maybe you bring the hands to meet underneath, sending the hips up. And hold. One more round of breath. Release the hands, roll the back down one vertebra at a time. Bring the knees in, give yourself a hug, and rock back and forth down the spine. One more rock, and we'll meet with feet flat on the floor. Exhale, send both knees to the floor into butterfly. Toes are pointing towards the short edge of the mat. Exhale, lengthen through the crown of the spine and walk your hands back down to a laying down position. So I walked my hands back, I went down to Sphinx arms, and then I just slid my elbows out. However you want to find your way into this position, that's totally fine. Just listen to your body, because if it's saying ouch, stop, try it a different way. Okay. You can, in this position, is reclined goddess. You can keep your arms in a T. You can bring them up to cactus. You can even clasp the elbows overhead. I'm going to clasp my elbows overhead, constantly engaging my feet, pressing them into each other. This is not necessarily a passive pose. And breathe. Check in with the body. See how it feels. Keeping hold of my elbows, I'm going to send them to one side of the mat, towards the long edge of the mat, providing a nice side body stretch. Kind of like how we were in child's pose, going from one side of the mat to the other. Trying to keep both shoulder blades on the floor. Inhale back to center. Exhale other side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, release the arms. Take a moment. The next inhale, gently guide the legs together. Send one leg in, one leg out. So hugging one knee and extending the other, flexing both feet, toes to the sky. By flexing our feet, we're protecting our knees by engaging it, engaging your leg. If it feels right to you, you can gently guide the knee towards the floor, keeping it flexed with a nice hip opener. If this feels right to you, if it doesn't, just stay right here, or however it feels comfortable to you. Inhale, back up, and switch. Extend the other leg and hug the other leg. So I was hugging my right, now I'm hugging my left. If it feels right to you, you can gently guide the knee towards the floor. On this side, I'm not feeling it, so I'm not going to. Exhale, send both feet to the floor, press slightly into the mat, raise the hips a little bit, swing them to one side, and then the knees just follow. You can keep the arms in a T, in cactus, but make sure that your shoulder blades are touching the mat. Reclined twist. Inhale, using your core, not your arms, bring the knees back up to center, place the feet down, lift the hips slightly, swing them to the other side, and the knees follow that movement. If you would like to deepen this twist, you can look in the opposite direction of your knees. If that is too much for you, you can always turn your head in the same direction. You can also keep your gaze to the sky. Whatever feels right to you and your body. Knees to the sky, feet flat on the floor. Straightening out with the mat. Come up onto the tiptoes and windshield wiper your knees to one side. Inhale up, exhale the other. Move with your breath. Providing a nice slow back massage. Slowing down, moment by moment, into stillness. Extend one leg, then the other leg. Now is the time, if you have layers or want to get a drink of water or a blanket, now is the time. I'm going to grab a blanket because I can. And I like being snuggled in blankets. Here we go. Before going into our guided meditation at the end of class, I'm going to offer something called Nadi Shodra. I think I just butchered that. The English translation is alternate nostril breathing, as we're not supposed to be touching our face right now. It's more of a visualization exercise. However, this has been shown to reduce the cortisol in our brain and help balance out the neural hormones that we have in our brain, neurochemicals. And the way that it works is think about a rainbow or a horseshoe, something U-shaped. Inhale up the left side of the body from the feet all the way to the head, and exhale out the right side of the body. Inhale the right side of the body, stopping in the skull, and exhaling down the left side. Inhale up the left side and out the right side. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, exhale. You do not have to do these hand motions. I am doing them as a physical guide. Exhale down the right. Inhale up the right. Exhale down the left. Inhale up the left. Continue on your own breath. One more on each side. Last one. Breathe however your body feels. Find that natural rhythm. Check in with the body, see how it feels. Feeling in our practice with some warm golden light, filling in the toes, the tops of the feet, the balls of the feet, the heels, the ankles, the calves, the knees, the femur, the thighs, hips, sciatic nerve, the nerve that goes from your leg into your back.
Feeling warm, golden light. Traveling up the spinal column from the tailbone, the belly filling in all directions, 360 degrees. Feeling warm, golden light. It builds and it fills. All the way up to the rib cage, filling the space between each rib and rib bone in the cage. Coming all the way up, filling the left lung, the right lung, the heart, filling with warm golden light. The light travels up the spine, all the way up to the collarbones and shoots and radiates down the arms, the biceps, the elbows, the forearms, the tops of the hands, coming back up, the palms of the hands, the forearms, the elbows, the biceps, all the way back up to the shoulders, coming back to the spine, feeling with warm golden light, up the throat, voice box, into the skull, the left brain, the right brain. Relaxing the muscles in the face, the eyes drop back into their sockets. Relaxing the muscles in the forehead, the chin, the cheeks, the tongue, the jaw. Light fills and radiates out of you, sealing in the practice. Maybe it goes and all the way connects with the sun, from the roots to the sun. It fills every nook and cranny and crevice in the body, going down to the cellular level, the DNA, the RNA. Letting the sun settle in. If you would like to stay in Shavasana, feel free. I am going to begin closing the practice. Wiggle the fingers and toes, slowly waking up the body. When the moment feels right, turn onto your right side body. And when the moment feels right, on the next exhale, press into the hands, come into a seated position that is comfortable to you. Inhale, hands meet at heart center, thumbs pressing into the sternum. Take a moment and check in with your body and see how it feels after this time of intentionally moving with our breath. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to physically distance and socially connect. I'm really excited about being able to teach yoga in this way that's accessible to many. Places for donations are in the description box. The playlist for today is also in the description box. My next class is Friday at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Chair yoga. Lots of modifications. Don't have a mat? Don't worry about it. Show up and we'll make it happen. We'll get some movement in. And I'm also putting together a class for, I don't know about y'all, but I've been pretty sedentary of late, and I have found myself getting a hint of tech neck, a little bit of this. And so I'm going to be crafting a course to provide some life-changing skills in that, getting ourselves back in alignment, not only physically, but also in touch with our body, knowing what our yes is and know what a no is. In this very uncertain time, I feel it's very good to be aware of your boundaries. So thank you so much for being here. I will keep you posted. I hope this video worked, and I hope that it uploads. If not, this was just a try, and I will be back on Facebook Live Friday at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.